An excellent attempt on our part in trying to expose our intellect to this text Yoga Vasishtha Maharamayana through that to the teachings of Bhagavan Vasishthaji and Mother Saraswati, in which what is real, what is unreal are slowly introduced into our heart, which further finally has to be contemplated and understood and accepted by our hearts and through various outer sadhanas should be realized within ourselves. Before that happens, all our this effort of studying Shastras is uh, a necessary effort, but none of these things can finally give us either liberation or confirmation of the truth said by the Shastra. Finally, we have to prove it, establish it in our hearts. May Bhagavan Rama, Vasishtha, all rishis, gurus bless us in this regard. Invoking their blessings through these chantings, let us continue studying this 52nd Sarga, Marana Samananthara Deha Jeeva Pratibha Varnanam of Leelopakhyanam, third Utpaath Prakaranam. Let us see how much we are able to understand. But as we said yesterday, day before, the topic is very sublime. But if that is caught, understood, all our attachments to the world, to the upadhis, along with it, the bondages, dukkha they are experienced, they just get withered away, dissolved, just like our fear and restlessness of seeing the snake gets dissolved when we apprehend the rope and understand that there was never the snake. Here also, when the truth is realized and the untruth of the untruth is realized, all problems were in the untruth taken as truth when it is known as untruth. When we wake up from the dream, when dream world itself is unreal, how come the dream problems? But the subtlemost thing which we miss while studying this topic, these examples all the time is it's not only the dream world is mithya, but before that, the one who is suffering in the dream world, the dreamer himself is mithya. The waker is real. So too, the waking world and waker is mithya. The reality alone is real. All our efforts of studying our all these shastras are to get convinced about it. We are gathering the information. When we start doing contemplation on that, very curiously and subtly, that information becomes knowledge. When that knowledge is lived, lived, experience comes. Once it is an experience, then no need of any other explanations, understandings, efforts. All explanations given by the gurus, understandings gained by us, efforts are put are only one anubhuti. अनुभव आने के बाद आई नो इनडायरेक्टली साक्षात अपरोक्षात ब्रह्म एवरीथिंग इज ब्रह्मन और क्या है ओम 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 सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ओम शांति 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 ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्व वेदान्ताः सच्छास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ओम श्री राम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परम सुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेदव्यास वामदेव नारदादि सरस्वती मातादि समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्तिविश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगत्यर्थं धर्मसंस्थापकानां नित्यनिरन्तर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवत् शिवकृष्णादिमन्दिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरन्तरशास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रुविघ्न शाश्वतसमूलनिर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसम्प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयाः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थम् अनेकशास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नमध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्रीराम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभोः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्धिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरभिकलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ॐ या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रान्विता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा पूजिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाढ्यापः। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्री वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने मरण समनंतर जीव देह प्रतिभा वर्णनं नाम द्विपञ्चाशत्तमः सर्गः। श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच ज्ञप्तिरुवाच। The picture must be very clear to us by now. From last 4 or 5 days we are repeatedly seeing. This is the experience of Mother Saraswati, which we too have to gain. To gain that, the inner outer sadhanas have to be done. Before that, that knowledge has to be convinced about. To get convinced, we have to contemplate. To contemplate, we have to have data. Data is given. This data has to be used for contemplation. Then the knowledge has to be gained. Then still the outer inner sadhanas there to do. When they are done, as Mother Saraswati is experiencing, that anubhuti comes. What is anubhuti of her? Brahman alone is real. Once she said, Chidakasha is real, in that Chittakasha, in that Bhutakasha. Same thing is proved through this entire Leela Upakhyan. Who is Raja Padma? Basically, Brahman Chit Swarup. But he has forgotten. He became an individual. He got a Chitta Akasha. In that Chitta Akasha, he has got Chitta Vritti Sankalpas, Manorathas. That is solidifying to become the Bhuta Akasha. Then Panchamahabhuta made outer Jagat, beings, Vastus, and his own Upadhis with which he is identified. And that whole thing is taken as fully real and settled in that. है ना? चोर चोरी करने में सेटल्ड, रिश्वतखोरी में सेटल्ड, terrorist being terrorist में settled. So jiva, the Brahman as a jiva with the upadhi settled. In that settlement, there is every moment unsettlement only, because it's a wrong settlement. It is untrue also, it is limited also, it is perishable, it is changeable. Never you get what you want, because you think you want the objects. No, you want happiness, not the objects. You want happiness, not people. You want happiness, but you are running behind people and objects. You are getting them, but not happiness. Why? Happiness is not objective, it is your own subjective self. That's why once we identify with the Deha, the Upadhi, there is nothing but sufferings. That's what we are going through. To avoid that suffering only, continuously struggling in wrong direction. When you go to the Guru and ask, he will give us right direction for permanent elimination of the sufferings by making us realize our essential self. That I am neither related to Bhuta Akasha and Bhuta Jivas and Bhuta Vastus, nor I am this Bhuta Panchamahabhuta made, this Thula Sharira, nor I am Chitta Akasha and Chitta Vrittis. I am beyond them, the Chidakasha, the pure infinite conscious space. Whenever you understand it, whenever you do sadhana, whenever you realize, that time we will be liberated. When I will be liberated from the dream, whenever I wake up from the dream into my original state of waker. If I continue to dream in the dream for 10 lakh years, 10 lakh years you will be suffering. 2 minutes में उठ गए तो you are liberated. So how long I will suffer this samsara? There is no limit as long as you consider yourself to be Upadhyukta Jiva, taking the outer world as real things and beings, and keep on living a relative life. It can be 2 minutes, 2 days, 2 years, two decades, 2 lives, 2,500 crores of lives. You live, you continue. Yeah, जितना समय आप ड्रीम में रहना चाहते रहो. नहीं, I want to. Then starting from now, with maximum sadhanas done, in the minimum time it will happen. Never start, never happens. Started but very slowly it will happen. This is how we have to very spashta in all this regarding, in all these things. Just like those are regularly coming to the class, at least those 3-4% understanding started happening. That I am basically Brahman, forgotten in that I am taking myself to be an individuality with this Dehendriyadi Upadhi. Now, for the sake of this Upadhi, I am identifying with the things and beings of the world. And I am in this only living. दिस इज संसार. थोड़ा रेगुलर आ रहे हैं तो आइडिया आ रहा है. जो कभी नहीं आते आते कभी जाते हैं तो दे वोंट गेट द आइडिया. And those who are coming regularly, when they do contemplation, the knowledge becomes firm and their own. And they do sadhana also, experience comes. As people never listen to Vedanta, therefore never understand. Those who are coming regularly and give up the classes, they will also forget it and go back to taking the world as real, themselves as real, living that samsara. Till mukti milne tak, anywhere there is a danger that somebody leaves it and goes back to the wretched world of bondage. That is your choice. Nobody is responsible for my bondage. My avidya, my upadhi tadat. Nobody is responsible for my liberation. My vidya, my तादात्म्य with my निज आत्मस्वरूप. इस तरह हमें शॉर्ट लिस्ट करना है या we have to make the bullet points for ourselves. These are the crux of it, essence of it, summary of it, gist of it. Live that knowledge. Right? So that is the story of Padma. Now, who is telling that Padma story? Saraswati Mata. To whom? Leela. Now, this Leela who is listening, when what asking about Padma and listening about Padma, actual problem for her is what? She is thinking she is real. That is why all the questions she has got about Padma and travel, and she wants Padmaraja to be her husband and she to be his wife. Therefore, she came to this world, but Vidurata, she asked Saraswati Mata, she said Tatastu, therefore, that Vidurata Sharir Chodkar, that Raja Padma entering into Padma Sharira, who is going to whom this Lila, one Lila has already gone, second Lila also going. Now, this much knowledge about Padma, story wise when it is told, for what? Is it to understand? Therefore, the Padman is Paramatma, Padma is not a Jiva, Padma is a feeling, is a Jiva, and he only traversing from one Sharira to other with all circumstances born out of imagination. ये पद्म के बारे में समझने के लिए नहीं, it's for our own self. That's what in today's class we are going to see. Oh my dear Leela, you yourself are not real as Leela. You yourself are imagining he is your pati. All your thoughts and their permutations, combinations. And directly you may not. Like, I want to fly in the sky. That is a thought. You have not thought that I have to be a bird. But to be flying in the sky, you have to be a bird. That obviously follows. And I want to be in the waters. You thought, then you'll become a fish. Fish. You never said, I want to be a fish. But to be in the water, you have to be in that fish only. In that way, through our sankalpas, their permutations, combinations, the whole world of anubhutis is kept in front of us. So what we have seen, all of that is projected by my chitta samashti maya, as per my own sankalpa. All said and done, it is sankalpa kalpita asatya only, not satya like adhishthana. This is the most important thing to be grasped and kept in our heart. You and I, many lives we might have prayed for this knowledge so exclusively. This knowledge is given to us. The proof is, even though it is available, freely available, and there are 800 crores are people are there, and they are not listening. So again, in the same way, the 800 crores people are doing so many things. You and I don't deserve that, therefore we are not there. And I am doing Vedanta. A cricket player is not exposed to this thing, therefore he is not here. So too, I don't have the cricket vasana, therefore I am not there. That and this both are vasana, but this is jnana giving vasana, liberation giving jnana. But that is continuously tying you down to an individuality only. इतना फर्क है उसका इसका. So you and I are specially chosen or selected, or we have done our tapasyas of various sorts. Therefore, we are given this sublime knowledge. Now let us focus on ourselves and the knowledge given to us and the opportunity given to us, and gain that knowledge, make it subtler, deeper, and try to live it. Let us be on ourselves. Like morning class also, in the common sense thought. हमने कहा ना, reorganize your life, re-establish your life, or totally systematize it, organize as a spiritual seeker, what to do the whole day. You know, don't poke yourself in others' life. Don't allow others to live your own life and not material but spiritual. We have discussed same even now. Okay. So whether it is Leela told by Mother Saraswati, or whether it is Rama told by Vaashishthaji, or millions of people studied the Yoga Vaasishta from their gurus, and we are studying. This is neither for Leela, nor for Rama, nor for those who have studied. Then for whom? It is for us. Every text like Gita we are studying, which is taught by Krishna to Arjuna, written by Vyasa in the book Mahabharata. So we are studying Gita not for Vyasa, not for Arjuna, not for Krishna, for ourselves, because they are written for ourselves, for us. समझ गए ना? कोई भी पुराने इतिहासों का कथा, शास्त्रों का कथा, उनमें से एसेंस हमारे लिए है, उसके लिए हमें सीखना है. We have to learn from it for ourselves. Okay. Here, Leela also, if she asks the questions about Padma continuously, so she is not in right track. While the story is told about Padma, she should understand that it is her own story. That she herself as Leela is a mithya. The Leela thought is mithya, Leela upadhis are mithya, Leela doing sankalpas with the upadhis for this and that also is all mithya. Yet, because you are giving reality, it is appearing as real. That is called in Vedantic Bhasha Abhuta Abhinivesha. Snake not there, Abhuta, but Abhinivesha. You think it is there. Sadrushetat pravartate, then you are helpless to behave as if really the snake is there. Because it is your imagination, taken as real. That's what we yesterday concluded. To be frightened of the snake, snake need not be there actually. Snake's projection is sufficient. In the same way, to be lost in samsara, the whole samsara, the jagat need not be there. Its projection and reality given to it is sufficient, and that is what exactly happening. And to suffer in the dream world need not be there, but it is projected, that is enough. To become miserable, really the hero heroine need not suffer, but that cinema is enough to make us miserable. That's what we saw in Mandukya so thoroughly, isn't it? So powerfully. The question asked by Purva Pakshi is, all of us, but I am experiencing all this world, it must be real. The answer is what? You are experiencing the world, that is why it is unreal. Because reality is self. Self is not object. Self is not experienced as an object. You are the self, that's it. You are the being, not becoming an experiencer to experience an experienced. Subtle point. Okay, yesterday we came up to Leela asking the question, Katamesha Pura Devi Sampanna Tatra Dehini. So, what Deha she got, how this Leela reached to that Padma's place. Katam chatat sapatnika bhavamaptavate sthita. So, how she is there as his wife. Tejasyavad kim rupam. What is her rupa? Pashyanti atavadanti kim. In what way? They all see her, recognize her, accept her. And what do they speak to her? Vadanti kim. Oh, tat geha vara vastavyaha. The best of that house, the people who stay there. Samasena iti me vada, tell me. Because this Leela is thinking that she is the Padma's wife. Thus Padma died. Then she did not die. She wanted him to be her husband. So Saraswati Mata said, Chal, theek hai, main le jata hu. Now this Leela, asking her to be taken to Padma's place is her choice. But there is no Padma, he already became Vidurat. And Viduratha is in his own life. For him, that Leela of Padma Sharira alone is Leela in the Viduratha Sharira. He as a Viduratha himself is Mithya. He as a king also is Mithya. And he wanted a wife and then Leela came in his life. That Leela is Mithya, but taken as real. For the Leela also, the Viduratha is Mithya. And how the world is taken as real? Because we took ourselves as real first. We ourselves are not real from the Upadhi standpoint, Jiva. We are Brahman only. When we as Brahman miss our identity, then wrongly identify ourselves, then everything wrong can be projected which has no rhyme, reason, no logic. Like from the waking to the dream when we enter, once you leave this plane, there without rhyme and reason, anything you can project. Anything is projected. You see that dream world. Pata nahi kya kya. Infinite. Same is waking. Compared to the dream, the waking appears to be more systematic, more streamlined, more organized. That you get up in the morning, you fold your bed sheet, you take your bath. They're all systematically happening. So, systematically happening, correct. But what is happening systematically is foolishness. That we have to understand. है ना? कहीं सिस्टमैटिकली चोरी कर रहा है, तो डू यू अप्रिशिएट इज डूइंग द थिंग सिस्टमैटिकली? अरे इतना बढ़िया कर रहा है भाई। अरे कर तो रहा है बढ़िया, लेकिन जो कर रहा है वो गलत है। इसी तरह थ्रू आउट द डे with such a strict discipline and system and planning, thinking, using all our intelligence, how nicely we live life for ourselves, how nicely we live life for our family members, how nicely we live our life for society, how nicely systematically we go to office, do everything very well planned way, disciplined, dignified. How beautiful. So, in this way, disciplined, dignified, beautiful way of living this life doesn't give this life the reality. It still remains delusion only. Doesn't make it real. Reality is only one Brahman, that's it. You are very systematical, foolish person. That's it. Other than that, डोंट इमेजिन कि मैं इतना मेहनत करके प्रधानमंत्री बन गया हूँ। अरे तुम फिर भी बनावटी जिंदगी जी रहे हो, तुम तो ब्रह्म हो, वो तो इतना बड़ा है प्रधानमंत्री का, एक देश का है 5 साल के लिए। थिंक we make these worldly things such a big issues, big things, that they appear to be so real to us. Are even Brahmadeva post also is a small, tiny, because the Brahma is a Brahma to one Brahmanda, like that. Another Koti Brahmandas are there, like the Trasarenus in that uh, light coming from the ventilator. When the light comes from ventilator, in that light, in that Surya Kanti, how many dust particles you see? So many Brahmandas. To each Brahmanda, one Brahmadeva. Like to your house, you are Brahmadeva. तो नाइबर के हाउस में अपना ब्रह्मदेव है। लाइक एक पेड़ पे अपने पत्ते फल है और दूसरे पेड़ पे अपने पत्ते फल है। Isn't it? एक गांव में अपने घर वगैरह, तो दूसरे गांव के अपने घर है, यहाँ के अपने मुखिया उधर का है। Who is great? Nobody is great. Even Brahmadeva we are saying. And when you go to study the Lalita Sasana and all that, it is said that with Sankalpa she has created Karodo Brahma Vishnu Maheshwaras. Koti Koti Viravrata. That is true. Because once it's not real, once it is projection, it has no rhyme, reason, it has no quantification. It is anything it can. एक बार आपके सपने में आप सपना देख रहे हो, अब कौन सा रेलवे स्टेशन देखोगे, कितने ट्रेन, कितने पटरियां, कितने कोचेस, कितने ट्रैवलर, इट इज नो, इट कैन बी एनीथिंग, बट द अंडरलाइनिंग थिंग इज विथ एनीथिंग it is unreal. How many vehicles on the road you will see when you are in dream? Once it is projection, it can be anything. Therefore, this answer to this question, that how come this variety in this world is this? That once is imagination, once projection, it can be anything. Like आपके डिब्बे में पेंट है, ये as a paint in the डब्बा paint only. Once you start projecting using the paint on a canvas or screen, any painting you can make. Million, they are infinite are there, the varieties you can make. Because they're all projected. Your imagination, you are using the paint. So to Brahman alone is reality. With Maya, the Brahman alone is painted as this world. After painting, he got fainted. Think about. But the beauty is what? Brahman, though imagined in the form of world, he never became the world to lose his identity. He still remains intact. On the Brahman, the projected world, in that birth, change, death are there, not in Brahman. The wave is born, growing, dying, not the water. That water, that reality is we. We have to identify with it. Right now, we are identified with the Panchakoshas, through this Panchakosha to the things and beings around, and with them with so much of Ragadvesha Kama Krodha, and Ragadvesha Kama Krodha prompted activities, and we are forced to go through the result of those actions. This is right now our autobiography. Now you understand this picture. Now one by one, think slowly. When you फलापेक्षा छोड़ दोगे तो आपको कर्म काम्य कर्म करने का जरूरत नहीं रहेगा। इन ये सब नहीं होगा तो माइंड इज शांत। इन दैट शांत माइंड व्हाट यू आर, यू रियलाइज right now I am with upadhi tadatmya. Then with this upadhi I am related to the world. With the world related I have raga dvesha. Prompted by raga dvesha I do karma. Because of karma I get karma phala. And I am enforced to go through that karma phala. In that force we are now. That's what called samsara. तो इस तरफ हम ब्रह्मास्मि को बढ़ाओ, हम पंचकोशोस्मि को घटाओ, विद द जगत द रिलेटिविटी कम करो, कामनाओं को कम करो, काम्य कर्म को कम करो, तो फल मजबूर करेगा आपको, वो खत्म हो जाएगा. Then the phalas are not there, then phala giving janma marana are not there. Janma marana are not there, karmas are not there. Karma is not there, kamana is not there. Kamana is not there, upadhi tadatma is not there. When upadhi tadatma is not there, avidya is not there. When avidya is not there, what is there is vidya. What is vidya? Aham brahmasmi. No, when this knowledge is strengthened and when we want to apply, think how our whole day schedule should change. Changes or should change. Live as Brahman and live for realizing Brahman. Right now, we are living as Jiva and living to realize as a Jiva the only Sukha Dukkha of the outer world. That ignorance has to go. Only through the Shastra, then it will go. But others are not studying. Hare Rama, that's the problem. Don't compare with others, they are not so lucky. You are studying, you are given this special privilege. हाँ फिर भी मेरे को नहीं जो है मैं उनके साथ ही जगत में फंसूंगा. अब जाओ फिर. ऐसे कितने लोग नहीं जा रहे हर दिन आकर. Isn't it? With every guru, thousands of them come and halfway they leave and go. अब तुमको भी जाना है तो जाओ. But in one of the janma, again you will stick to this only to realize Brahman because in that only there is moksha. But only suggestion is why not that is this janma only. If it clicks to you, you stick to it. If you don't click, you go. Who cares? Okay. Now to that first prashna, that exhaustive answer we are saying. Very sublime. Sri Devyuvacha, mother started saying. Okay. Shrunu sarvam samasena yatha prustam vadamite लीले लीला स्ववृत्तांतम अंतदम दृश्य दुर्दशम. देखो शृणु सर्वम समासेन. As you asked me to tell samasena, I will tell samasena. Shunu sarvam samasena. And what I will tell you, what you have to listen? Yatha prustam. What I am asked, that alone, te vadami, I tell you. Leele. No, you have to underline one point. That's what in our today's introduction में 5 मिनट हमने यही बात कहा. इधर देखा नहीं है कि मदर सरस्वती has given that point. Same thing we already said. What did she say? Leela, hey Leele, Leela Savrutantam. It is your own Vruttanta. Don't take it as Raja Padma's Vruttanta. Then you will forget it also, listening it as a story. It is your own Vruttanta. What is your Vruttanta? As Padma Jiva going through one Sharia to the other, that Shariras are Mithya, the Lokas are Mithya, Padma himself as Mithya. You also as Leela Mithya. Your Sharira Mithya, you are his wife Mithya, and you want to continue with him in each of the life. All of that is your ignorance. You are Brahman. So therefore, that story of Padma is told for you. So therefore it has become Svavruttanta. So Arjuna's dukkha is our dukkha. Incidents may be different, that's it. He had to fight with his grandfather and Guru in the Yuddha. We have problem uh, made up in different form, but problem is same. And problem is not outside. Bhagavan Adi Shankara in his Bhashya, in the beginning only writes that the entire 1.5 chapter of Gita. Mm. So it is your Vrittanta. It's not somebody's. You only considering yourself to be Jiva Deha and transmigrating with your karma as karma. Hai. That is why Mother so beautifully says it is Svavrutantam. Second is Antadam Drushya Durdasham. Wow. If this somebody can explain to us and if we can deeply understand, the dissolution starts happening of the samsara. Antadam Drushya Durdasham. है ना? The whole Durdasha a jiva has got because of Drushya. Okay? When the Drushya he drops, a Durdasha Yukta Drashta Bhava, he will transcend. Then he'll discover himself to be the Druk Swarup. In some texts, your Brahman is insistingly told. In other texts, you are not Drashta, that is told. In other texts, the Drishya is Mithya told. All are leading to same result. When in text 3, the Drishya is Mithya told, when the Drishya is Mithya, then Drashta also Mithya. When Drashta Drishya both are Mithya, then what remains? The Druk Swarupam Brahman. In the second text where the Drashya is told to be Mithya, when Drashta himself is Mithya, how can Drishya be real? Naturally, when both are unreal, what is real? Druk Swarup. In the first text, in the Druk Swarupa Brahman alone is told as real. And when one realizes that, in that there is no Drashta Drishya Dvaita, no samsara. So here, the Brahmana Vaashishtha, then Raja Padma, then Raja Vidurata. You know, all are delusions, all are illusions on the reality. Projected by whom? By them only. Who is that? Vasishtha projected, he became Padma. Padma projected, he became Vidurata. If he projects, he will become something. Continuously is projecting. Actually, he is reality only. Isn't it? Same is to you and I. We projected ourselves to be this in this life, brought this from our earlier life samskara. And in this life, with our so many of sankalpas, thoughts, we project for our future. Already we are projecting for our future life. In this life, rejecting all these projections and project and doing chitta, when we realize the substratum, no projections, no transmigration, no bondage, you are liberated. देख लो जितना समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आया तो भी सुनते जाना डेली the purpose of Lord or Guru giving us the study of this big text is for us to every day exposed to the Brahma Vidya. It is their krupa because we have done that prayer and sankalpa. Finally, what was said last to last chapter, last sloka by Saraswati Mata that it is I who pray. And whom you are praying? To Krishna or Rama? They are Brahman only. You are praying to Brahman only. Then who is blessing you? They are Krishna, Rama, Shiva. They are Brahman. They were Brahman only blessing. Therefore, I am praying to my own सेव या गुरु के रूप लेकर वो आत्मा ही आपको आपके प्रेयर्स का आंसर देता है. That's why our own self we invoke in the puja mandir and do puja. Then we take him back. This is final. See, when you go on listening to this in the beginning days, not even registration of the information happens. But when you insist to listen every day, slowly registering happens. And when you give some time to contemplate, the understanding happens. More contemplation, the truth in that understanding is accepted. Once the truth is understood and accepted, you are slowly coming out of the untruth. That's it. Once you come out of untruth, there is no samsara. You are Brahman, there is no Janma Marana in that Brahman. Where is samsara? You are not Jiva. If you think you are Jiva, then you have to have Upadhis. When you have Upadhis, they are subject to Desha Kala. Then they are born, grow, die. Then for the Upadhis, you will be attached to the world. Then with the world, you have lots of actions, karma done. ये सब एक के बाद एक imagination, projection. उसका कोई रियल कोई वो क्या कहते हैं ना संबंध ही नहीं हो ही once it is unreal remember projection has no time regular like in our movies in the book in one movie hero runs behind heroine but she doesn't accept him in the beginning in other movie heroine runs behind hero but he doesn't accept her in other lemon both of them run behind each other but the parents don't accept in other movie parent want their daughter to marry to this fellow but he doesn't agree how देखो everything is projection anything is possible एंड इन दैट ना, किसी मूवी में बचपन में उनका शादी कर देते हैं, किसी में युवा में शादी करते हैं, किसी में युवा में शादी नहीं हुआ, बुढ़ापे में कहीं मिले फिर शादी कर लिए, इन अदर मूवी नेक्स्ट जन्म में शादी करते। There's no end to that projection. And you watch it as so real. Anyway, this itself is not real. With all this lecture baji I am doing, it's all projection on Brahman only. But as Tulsidas says in Ramayana, it is Vidya Maya. It helps in realizing the reality. That is why it is allowed. Other than the Brahma Vidya giving Vidya Maya, all Avidya Maya wherein I am lost in Para Bhavakopa, that is to be avoided. एक दुष्ट अतिशय दुख रूपा जा बस जीव भरा भवकोप. एक तो भवकोप, इसमें बनावटी जिंदगी, बिकमिंग बिकमिंग बिकमिंग, दैट इज अविद्या माया, दैट इज फंसाने वाला. And this is what, not bhavakopa. It is pulling us off of the bhava and taking us to be, bhu, from becoming to being. ब्रह्म विद्या हमें बीइंग में ले जाता है. इसलिए ये भी एक मिथ्या जगत का ही हिस्सा है, but it will help us. Therefore, with respect, reverence, we use this. Once you realize Brahman, it's one without second. There is neither Jiva, Jagat, Ishwara and all of them. Finally, when you reach, till reaching, Guru, Shastra, Satsanga, Devata, Upasana, Shravana, Manana, Chintan alone protects us from ourselves taking as Jiva, Upadita, Atma, Samsari, Ragatesha, Kama, Krodha. ये जो भटकने वाला है, उससे यही हमें बचाए. Like taking good food, fill your stomach with good food. No place in the stomach for junk food. Fill your whole day with all sattvic useful activities. No time for masquerie. Have good people in your life as friends. No time for useless fellows. Right? लीले लीला सवृत्तांतम अंतदम दृश्य दुर्दशम. तुम्हारा दृश्य नामक दुर्दशा का अंत हो जाता है, ये तुम्हारा ही वृत्तांत है, तुम ढंग से समझोगे तो. तेन पद्मस्तव सभर्ता एषा भ्रांतिम तावत्तताम इमाम यम जगन्मयी तस्मिन् एव सद्मनि पश्यति. Your husband Padma, who left that Padma Sharira, in whatever the Antapura Mandapa he left the Sharira, he is still there only. In that place, that Padma is watching this entire Brahmanda, in this kingdom and his palace, and himself to be the king and all the people around. Tava Padmaha, okay, Padmastava, your Padmastava Saha Bharta. Tava Bharta Saha Padma, that your husband Padma, Tasmin Eva Sadmani, in that house only, Pashyati, is watching. What is he watching? Yam Jaganmayim Bhrantim. This entire Vidurata related entire Jaganmaya Bhranti. Tavat Tatam Imam, which is appearing to be so widely exposed and spread. But why then? How did I came and saw it? Because you did Sankalpa. If you had not done the Sankalpa, you would have not brought here to be shown. It is your चित्त संकल्प that मुझे जाकर मेरे पति को देखना है, तो इसलिए लाना पड़ा तुमको. See that how clear this subject, but how important also, how sublime, how out of the world, not this worldly knowledge it is, out of the world, which takes us out of the world of samsara too. So tava bharta esha padmaha tasminneva sadmani tavat tatam imam yam jaganmayim bhrantim pashyati. Like Swapna Purusha sleeping on this bed only, the Purusha, but while sleeping on the bed, he in his Swapna, is it not creating a whole world and traveling in it? In doing so many things. Mandukya exhaustively studied Agama Vaitatya Advaita Prakaranas. Thank God. After studying that only, we became qualified to study this. Otherwise, nobody knows such text is there. Seeing the bulkiness of it, they keep it away. पता नहीं हमको क्यों भगवान ने प्रेरणा दी कि we are studying every day. And slowly, slowly, we have come up to 52nd Sarga of this third Prakaranam. In this, 120 are there Almost 45% we have done it. देखते देखते हो जा गया. Then we go to the Upashama Prakaranam, Sthiti Prakaranam, Upashama Prakaranam, then Nirvana. Okay, next one. Bhranti Yuddhamidam Yuddham. Therefore, that Raja Padma in his that Antapura only doing Sankalpa and that Sankalpa appearing to happen really. Not only that entire Vidurata Rajya, naturally in that this Yuddham which you have seen so far with all ferociousness, Bhranti Yuddhamidam, Yuddham. This Yuddha is Bhranti Yuddha only. Esha Bhranti Janaha Ajanaha. All these people also Bhranti Maya only. Every one of them are pure conscious self only. Then Bhrantya eva asti iha maranam. He is dead, you say. That death also is Bhranti only. Eshacha evam Brahmatmakaha. Finally, this Raja Vidurata himself is Brahma. So Vidurata Brahma hai, unka Rajya Brahma hai, और Yuddha Brahma hai, all the people are Brahma and he died, no? All of them are Brahma. So projected on the Adhisthana by the Padma Raja. And that Padma also is not real. He is Vaashishtha. Vaashishtha also is not real. जहाँ से शुरू हुआ है, none of the jivas are real. Brahman alone is real. In everybody's case. Story of Padma told, it is my story, your story, everybody's story. Like in my India, in my place, I mean my local language, I have so many cinemas here projected. So in your town, in the other country, they project their cinema. Whether here or there, it is projection only. बढ़िया है कि नहीं? Therefore, not to be given so realistic value to this world. Then that will be, actualized when what is reality when we realize it. That is inside our heart. है ना, अपने हृदय आकाश में जो चिदाकाश है वही reality. When I realize it, all this theory is so open book to us that other than me everything is mithya. Okay, so Brahmakramena nenaiva leelasya daita asthita, है ना? Leela, the other Leela whom you saw, who died and who went to Padma, about whom you are asking question, ये भी उनकी ब्रह्मा है. This Leela as his patni, he is the Raja, Padma now is Viduratha, is Brahma only. For Viduratha, the wife is Leela, but Viduratha and his wife, both are Brahma to Padma. It is in his Brahma, these are all happening. Brahmakramena anena eva Leela asya daita sthita. Then, what about me? This Leela may be Brahma, my reality una. Leela is asking as if Saraswati says, Mata says, Tamcha Eshacha Vararohe. You and this Leela, both of you are Swapna Matram Varangane. You both also are Mithya. You are Mithya for yourself also, you are Mithya for him also. Therefore, you and him, Maya Morathoratai, all Maya. What is there is Adhisthana Brahma. In that Adhisthana, no Jiva Bhava, no Upadi, no individuality, no relativity. All are out of avidya projected. What is avidya? Not knowing I am Brahman. What is avidya? Not knowing that I am Waker. Then out of it, in the dream world projected. Where I am projected, people are projected, they are different from me, I am related to them. And because of the variety of relativity, with the friends I act this way, with the enemies I act that way, with the relatives I act this way, with an unknown person I act this way. In the dream, Sara projected only. Because of avidya. What is vidya? I am Brahman. I am Veka. That's why when you wake up to I am Vaker state, all that is dissolved. Dream का example must. है ना? Sometimes when the dream is so deeply realistically experienced, ना, वो तुरंत भूल नहीं जाते. 5-10 मिनट तक वो lingering होता है in the mind. Sometimes whole day you remember. कभी 3 दिन the dream will be remembered. Sometime after 5 years also remember that time I had a dream. So depending on the intensity of the dream, it's memory. So to this waking world को cause करने वाला our ignorance, our insistence this world is real is so intense, because of which we are not able to easily wake up from this to that reality, even in our intellectual understanding, even though we are taught so many ways by our gurus in our classes. And yet, none of this is going waste. This is the way every jiva slowly by this satsanga attends, understands, and through sadhana evolves. And in one day he realizes, once he realizes all his past lives, whether they are for 10,000 number and they were for 10 lakhs of what do you call years, all of that is brushed aside in one moment, and all the desha, kala, सब कुछ मिथ्या. अब हमको इतना जितना लंबा चौड़ा 80 साल 90 साल ये सब दिख रहा है ना, दिस टाइम दिस प्लेस ऑल ऑफ देम फ्रॉम द रियलिटी स्टैंड पॉइंट आर ओनली अ कल्प. नाउ वी गिव रियलिटी एंड सेम टाइप ऑफ बीइंग्स आर देयर, विद देम वी लिव. देवर सब मिलकर इसको ऐसा मान रहे. इनफैक्ट जिसको आप प्रश्न पूछ रहे हो, इज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर ओन मिथ्या इमेजिनेशन. अदर देन ब्रह्मन यू आर इमेजिनेशन एंड एवरीबडी एल्स टू इमेजिनेशन. That's how Vedanta teaches. And nothing to be frightened, nothing to be made abnormal. Our Vyavahara, it should continue, strengthen this knowledge. And with the knowledge, this knowledge, at least the undue value given to the world, if you reduce too much of attachment, कम से कम उतना दुख तो कम हो जाएगा ना. That's why as much straight it is told in this text, Yoga Vaashishtha, because of the highly qualified student called as Sri Rama. In other texts it's not told. वहां तो कर्मयोग करो, भक्ति योग करो, वो सारा कराते. Because their अधिकारित्व पाने के लिए so much required. Here कर्मयोग कुछ नहीं. Rama is param viragi. He just want to know reality. So to him directly the truth is told. And you and I, if we don't understand, it means we are caught up in our inner vasanas and outer desires. To exhaust both of them through karma yoga, bhakti yoga, then this becomes obvious to us. So understood? Every day, to one point, every related thing also we are telling so that the knowledge is pakka, understanding is pakka. ये चलता ही रहेगा. जिस दिन पूरा पक्का ज्ञान आएगा प्रभु के हिसाब इच्छा से तभी आने दो. Then भ्रमक्रमेणानेनैव लीलास्य दयिता स्थिता त्वं चैषा च वरारोहे स्वप्नमात्रं वराङ्गने. You yourself are his swapna and you yourself are mithya. Then यथा भवत्यापेतस्य स्वप्नमात्रवराङ्गने तथा भवत्योर्भर्तैष तथैवाहमपि स्वयं. So as this is the dream to your husband, you are so to you. I am your dream, the other Leela is dream, the entire that Raja, everything is dream only. So I am also dream only. Understand it. Dream means mithya. So यथा भवत अपेतस्य स्वप्नमात्र वरांगने तथा भवत्योर भर्ता एषः तथा एव अहमपि स्वयं. So to you this husband is swapna mithya. To you the other Leela is mithya. And to the other Leela you are mithya. To the other Leela that Bharta also is mithya. And to you all I am mithya. And to me you are not mithya because I am not seeing you as Leela. I am seeing you as myself. मस्त है कि नहीं? All big bomb blasts only happening. That is yoga vasishtha. Even for me, थोड़ा थोड़ा देख कर इतना एक तरफ डर भी लग रहा है. I am able to understand. But other side आश्चर्य. More than that, there is a joy. That some divine kripa is happening. Who is divine? Brahman only. Showing that grace for this jiva to understand and slowly rise above the jiva bhava. सुनते रहो भैया जितना हो सके. देन जगच्चो भैवेदृशीयम दृश्यमेतदिहोच्यते एतदेव परिज्ञानम दृश्य शब्दार्थमुच्यते. This is the ultimate thing. See the Jagat 3 of Viduratha, Jagat 2 of the Padma, Jagat 1 of Vaashishtha. All of them are Drishyam and Nashwaram and all Chitta Spandana, because of which it is Kalpitam only. Therefore, that Drishya is never real. Once it is not real and you devaluate, you are not the Drashta also. Because only when there is Drishya, correspondingly I become Drashta. Drishya rejected by knowing it is Mithya. Drashtutva also rejected. Then what remains? Drukswarupa. That's it. Etadeva parijnanam drushya shabdartham uchyati. If you are deeply understanding this entire story and its purpose, then the drushya shabda artham uchyati. You just give up the shabda called drushya, you even give up the artha of the shabda drushya. When the drushya chodi diya aapne, then you are not drashta. Then what's there? Your consciousness. Now this we have just heard once. ऐसा मत सोचो कि सुनते ही हो जाए. This knowledge has to be taken into the heart, and for hours together it should be contemplated, days together, months together. In that heat of contemplating on the basis of the story, the drishyatva is mithya, that is realized. Then who was that? Who was seeing that drishya? The drashta. When drishya is mithya, where is drashta? Is also not there. Not there. The Brahman alone, not known, playing the play of drashta, drishya. You ask a question because of what? We have to say Maya. Then whose Maya? It has to be Ishvara's. These are all as per your questions, the answers. But whether you question or not, whether you know it or not, the final answer is Ekameva Dvayam Brahma Chidakasha alone is real. Everything other than that, everything Kalpita Mithya. The whole problem starts with the individuality. Like why you don't take the cinema as Mithya? Because the hero, villain, heroine, ये सब individualities आपको दिख रहे हैं ना. उसको देखने के कारण how can it be real? We are asking question. How can it be mithya? We are asking question. The answer is what? अरे, that individuality is only mithya. That is the whole thing. स्वामी जी मैं सब देख रहा हूं ना, ये कैसा असत्य हो सकता है? अरे जो देख रहा है पहले वो असत्य. That's why the great sages like Ramana Maharshi, they cut short and say, first inquire who you are. In the inquiry of yourself, you dissolve yourself as drashta. You know yourself through Swarupa. Then the whole drishya which is projected, gone. Everything is one Brahman. Further, let us say, Om Purnamadaha, Bol Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai. But basing on this text, we keep on doing Manana Chintana in the class and deepen, strengthen, widen our knowledges. That's it. वही काम है. जितना हो सके उतना करेंगे. थैंक यू. अब जब कहानी आया, कहानी देखा, तत्व चिंतन है तो तत्व चिंतन देख रहे. सो दिस इज हाउ वी आर स्लोली गिवन. लाइक बच्चों को भी कहानी बताएंगे, खाना खिलाएंगे, कहानी बताएंगे, दवा खिलाएंगे. सेम वे. ओम पूर्णमद रामचंद्र भगवान की जय.